Hey everyone, and in this video, I'm going to be going over slippery slope fallacies. And I was just consuming content this month on critical thinking, and this is something that really stuck out to me, so I wanted to create this little presentation about it. So first off, what is a slippery slope? Well, a slippery slope is when we make assumptions and connections from a situation or decision that a person makes, to D, a conclusion from that decision. And we do this by saying, if A happens, B will happen. If B happens, C will happen. And if C happens, then D will happen. Some common ones we see are, if you use marijuana, you're going to become addicted to hard drugs. Or, if we let our child get away with this, then he's going to become a rebel. Or, if we allow gay marriage, then people are going to be ending up marrying inanimate objects and animals. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that these things won't happen, but it's an invalid argument to say that it's going to happen because of these reasons. And I'm going to show you why more in these next few examples. So first off, I wanted to use college as an example. So if you don't go to college, you won't obtain a higher education. Then you won't be able to get a job. And finally, you won't be able to pursue a great career/life. So what this is saying is, if you don't go to college, you can't pursue a great career or life. Let's break this down. A to B. If you don't go to college, you won't obtain a higher education. So I can accept that in most cases, this is what happens. If you don't go to college, then you don't obtain a higher education. But there are alternatives. You can go to vocational school. You can get an apprenticeship. Or you can even just self-educate yourself. But even if you don't obtain a higher education, B to C, you won't be able to get a job. Many jobs don't require a degree, and you can get those jobs without one. And then C to D, if you don't get a job, you won't be able to pursue a great life. Now, this doesn't check out because, say if you want to become a writer or a songwriter or an entrepreneur, then you technically don't need to go and get a job. You've basically created a career for yourself. And in return, you will have a great life and you will be able to pursue a great career. So this is just one example of why this is a fallacy. It can also be seen in the other way. You can say, if you do go to college, then you will pursue a great career/life. And that also isn't true because many people come out of college and they can't pursue what they want to do because they have too much debt, or they just figure out that they were studying the wrong thing. Next up, I wanted to do an example of sales. So if you take a role in sales, you're going to have to make a living off of a commission. If you do that, then you're going to end up pushing things onto people to get more sales. And finally, you're going to be stuck doing something you don't believe in. So what this fallacy is saying is that if you take a role in sales, then you're going to be stuck doing something you don't believe in. Let's break this down. If you take a role in sales, you're going to have to make a living off of commission. In most cases, this is true. If you are in sales, most of the money you make is off commission. But in some cases, you have a salary and you can live off that salary. B to C, even if you are living off commission, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be pushing things onto people to get more sales. You might really believe in that product and you could see it more as helping people, and you're not really pushing anything onto anybody. You're just trying to help people to make their lives easier. But even if you are pushing things onto people, that doesn't mean you're going to be stuck doing something you don't believe in. All it really means is you're gaining a skill that is highly transferable to any role. So this isn't really something that you hear too often people say to each other, but it's something people really have in their minds. And it kind of scares people to get into sales, and it's a misconception that we kind of sell to ourselves. And then finally, in conclusion, I really wanted to set this up in a way to where you could see how a slippery slope can be really convincing, because the A to B, B to C, C to D situation can apply if each connection checks out. So if we draw conclusions based on what might happen, then we are making assumptions. If we are making assumptions, we are not attempting to seek out a sound argument. If we are not seeking out a sound argument, we are participating in a fallacy and can conclude that the argument is invalid. So this clearly shows, in my opinion, that when it checks out, this can work, and it shows why people get confused and believe in fallacies like this. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and see you next time.